Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have for you a review, tutorial, and swatches from the new Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. So what really drew me into this palette was the blues. Other than that, it's like your typical Naked palette, just with a couple pops of other colors that they don't typically do. So we're gonna just kind of get right to it because I don't want this video to be super long. But you have a large mirror, which I don't want to completely show you just because I don't want it to blind you all. And then you get your brush like you do in every Naked palette. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of the brushes. I don't think they work well, but I will use it today just for you. So this is what the Naked Urban Decay Wild West palette looks like. It's very, very pretty. But again, like I said, it's very neutral with a couple pops of blues. So probably my favorite colors in this palette have to be the foiled shimmery colors. So like this one, which is Hold'em, Cowboy Rick right next to it, and then Rustler seems really nice. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for my eyes today, but I'm going to try and use at least one foil shadow and a couple of mattes just so we can kind of get like a really good feel for them. I do want to input some swatches, so I will input that footage here. And now we are going to dive into the palette. So first things first, I'm going to prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. It's just what I'm currently working on right now. Nothing super, super special. And I think the first shade I'm gonna go in with is this nudie shade right here. And I'm gonna use that Urban Decay shadow brush that came in the palette. Typically I like my first shadow brush to be like really, really fluffy, but this is super, super stiff, so. But I'm gonna keep using it just for you guys. All right, now that that brush has been used at least once, we're gonna go back to the brushes that I actually like. So I'm gonna go back in with that same color using the Luxie 250 Large Eye blending brush and just kind of blend everything out a little bit better. Next, I think I'm actually gonna go into the shade Pony Up, which is this darkish one down here, and I'm gonna use my Morphe Jeffree Star JS5 brush for that. Kind of want to see how this darker color performs because it's not quite a black. It's got a lot of gray to it. I am noticing with this color at least that there's a ton of fallout. I do find that with the darker colors from Urban, there can be a ton of fallout. Or I just don't notice it as much with the lighter colors because I'm Casper the Friendly Ghost. And I'll go back and clean all of this up, don't worry. That's why I like to do my eyes first, because then I can go back and actually fix all around it. So I think to warm this up a little bit, I'm gonna actually add Ghost Town, which is this shade right here. I'm gonna take this is another Morphe, it's the Morphe Jeffree Star JS6 brush. And then I'm gonna take the Morphe, it's just a Morphe crease brush, and I'm gonna take the shade Standoff because it's very close to my skin tone, so it's this one right here. We're gonna take that, and I'm gonna kind of blend out right above and right under my eyebrow just to blend everything a little bit better so we don't really see any harsh lines. I know, you're probably thinking, girl, what eyebrow? You got no eyebrows. I know, but that'll come. As much as I really want to use this blue shade, I'm actually going to go in with Rustler, which is this rusty colored shimmer shade, because it's calling my name with this look. So we're going to use that, and I'm actually just going to use my finger with that. Look at that, it's so pretty. I'm just going to use my finger and tap that on my lid. If you had the original Naked palette, this feels similar to Smog, only a little bit warmer. All right, so that's it for like the top lid. I'm gonna go clean up and then finish my face makeup, and I will be back to do the bottom lid with you guys. All right, so now that the face is done, I'm going to go back and do the under eye. And yeah, so first I'm gonna start with the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Bourbon. And I'm just gonna do my waterline. Okay, so I don't like the combination foundation primer I just used. I used the Hourglass Vanishing Stick foundation with the the Benefit Hydrating Professional Primer, and it pilled and it's bothering me, but I'm not gonna fix it. We'll just deal with it for today. So now I'm gonna go in with the shade Pony Up, which is this one here. And I'm going to use, this is the Stila, it's a brush that I got, I think it was like the Magnificent Metals or something like that, but I like to use that to line my bottom lashes with shadow. And I think I want to use the shade Tex down below too, just to give my eyes a little bit of a pop of color. So I'm actually going to go in with that other side of the Naked brush that came in the palette, and I'm going to kind of smudge that underneath. And I'm also going to smudge that shade Tex on the top lash line as well, instead of going in with like a winged liner here. And I'm going to use, this is the brush I got in my latest BoxyCharm. It's that angled eyeliner brush, but I didn't really like it for eyeliner because it was super stiff. I'm going to see how this works. So now I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup, and I will be back and we will chat. All right, so now that my makeup is completely done, let's talk a little bit about this look, shall we? So we're gonna zoom in a little bit. I'm not very good at doing liner with shadow. Something I very rarely do. So I know I didn't use all of the shades in this palette, but the ones I did use, let's talk about those. So the Nudie is a beautiful buttery shade that blends very, very well and very easily into everything else. Pony Up is very patchy, very, very patchy, and it just muddied up the look a lot more than I wanted it to. It darkened it, but it just appears very muddy now. And Ghost Town, I tried to add a little bit of that to kind of help with the muddiness and make it a little bit warmer, and it did work, and that one does blend very nicely. One thing I do notice about Urban Decay shadows is the darker the shades, the patchier they are. I will say that Tex, I loved that on the lower lash line, and then that as an eyeliner as well. If I was better at doing liner with shadow, it probably would have looked a lot better, but unfortunately I'm not that good at it. So while I loved some of the other shades that I use, I probably would only give this maybe like 3 stars. It's pretty, but if you have one Naked palette, other than like the pops of the blues in here, you pretty much have them all. So if you get rid of the blues, this is Naked Heat, Original Naked, Naked Reloaded, and it's just kind of all of those combined. So if you are a diehard Urban Decay fan, can't live without having all of the Naked palettes, if you want to add that to your collection, I say this is a decent palette. But if you have the others and you're contemplating it, I can't see spending the money on this just for blues that you probably have in other palettes into one. So I'm the type of person that I like to grab one palette and travel with it. If it's all shimmers, I typically don't take it. If it's all mattes, I typically don't take it. I love shimmer shadows on my lids. So the Naked palettes are great for travel for me because it has that array of everything. So I would probably bring this to travel with just because it does have my shimmers, it does have my mattes. They're decent enough that I can get really nice looks out of them. But did I need this? Absolutely not, especially if you see my eyeshadow palette stash. I did not need another one, but I really wanted to come on here and do a review / tutorial with you guys and a first impressions. Now, I know I didn't use every single shade in here, but you can get a pretty good feel based off of the shades that I did use. So your lighter shades, if you've used them in Urban Decay palettes before, you know they are your butteriest shades. You know their shimmer shades are beautiful and stunning. And you also know that the darker mattes that you get are very patchy. And it's typical Urban Decay. I don't know what it is about those darker shades, but it just makes it very hard to blend and it just muddies up your look and makes it very patchy. So that is it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you if you're on the fence as to whether or not to get the Wild West palette. If you think you can hold out, do it. If you need that palette to add to your Urban Decay collection, it's not something I regret buying. We'll say that. I don't regret it because I am that person that loves the Urban Decay Naked palettes and I love having them in my collection because they are so easy to pick up and grab and travel with. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and I will see you next time. Bye.